So today is a very special day. It's my birthday. I don't like to tell people that, but anyway. And I have a very special visitor. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yes, my name is Sarah Coles, and I've just survived the M25 to reach this wonderful haven of beautiful bonsai, where Peter, I believe, is going to kindly rescue my bonsai.
Now, I always like to video interesting subjects for my YouTube fans. This is special for several reasons. The first reason is that this is your mother's tree that she has had for 40 or more years?
46 years.
46 years ago this was purchased from?
From Thailand, and it was already supposed to be old. I don't know how old.
46 years ago. I was barely into bonsai then. And of course I know that this is genuine because this type of ficus, I can't identify the precise variety or genus or species of ficus, but this type of ficus is not often used for bonsai now. They mainly use the retusa or the tiger bark ficus, but obviously very resilient, very strong, and of course 46 years ago the trunk is thick. I can genuinely believe the age. It could easily be 60-year-old tree. Hasn't grown that much, but the fact that you've kept it alive, or your mother kept it alive, is a real credit, because these trees are either very resilient or you've done all the right things. Even from the old wood, there are bits of new growth coming. Unfortunately, whoever did pruning or shaping has cut a lot of the wrong branches off, but I can still bring it back to a reasonable shape with a bit of wiring, a bit of shaping. But let me show you, if you come closer, Joe, I will show you the state of the soil. This state of the soil is not very good.
Sure.
And look at the lime scale. It's almost like a quagmire.
It is.
The fact that the tree has survived is really a credit to the tree, but I will help it along its way and bring it back to full health. Not that it's not unhealthy, it's very healthy, but the soil is in bad condition. It should not be in this sort of soil.
And I'd just like to interrupt to say yesterday was the birthday of my mother, the first one in my life without her. And it's fitting that it's your birthday and you're going to save her tree.
Okay, so
Yes.
as we say, these trees outlive us. Trees outlive people. And hopefully a lot of my trees will outlive me. But whatever it is the love of the trees and the trees themselves that for us have a lot of meaning. So I will respect this tree and bring it back to health. And I'm going to take my time. I could have easily done it in about half an hour, but
No.
that would not have done it justice.
No, it needs
So
good karma. It needs
yes,
love for a bit.
Yes,
Yeah?
I will clean everything up and you won't recognize it when I've done it. If you give me 2 to 4 weeks and come back, I can guarantee you that this will be a different tree. Meanwhile, I'll take your phone number and send you progress pictures of what it looks like.
Really? And you can't resist starting already. Look.
Yeah, that's right. No, but I will really bring it back. I can see that there's potential. We can change the tree and
What are the little black dots? Are they something to worry about? Like under the leaves over there?
Yeah, these are the scale insect. All ficuses suffer from scale, but it is relatively free from disease. It's not too bad.
Okay.
It's fairly disease free. It's just that it's lost its way.
Indeed.
But we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back.
Thank you. That's wonderful news.
So we'll do a follow. So I'm going to analyze this ficus that this lady left for me to sort out. So to recap, it was her mother's tree which she purchased in Thailand because their family used to work abroad. They worked, I won't tell you who for, but they had to travel all over the world. So when they worked in Thailand 46 years ago, the mother purchased a bonsai and brought it back to the UK. And she's had it for 46 years. That's quite incredible when you think that 46 years and the tree is still alive. I can believe that what she's telling me is absolutely true because the ravages of time usually speak for itself. Look at these. These were side branches which have been cut off. So these side branches became that thick. That spoiled the shape of the tree. So you've got to look at that. And the fact that this pot is encrusted with material. A lot of people wonder what this encrustation is. This encrustation is really limescale and fertilizer. In England, most of the water is very alkaline, what we call limey or chalky. And if you keep watering with tap water, you get this limescale. The other reason for this limescale or this white stuff is when you put fertilizer on the tree. When you put fertilizer on the tree, sometimes the chemical, they're like crystals, they form a film on the pot and it encrusts the pot with this white stuff. I'm not going to spend the entire video cleaning the pot because we're here to show you how we do the bonsai. But I'm going to get one of our staff to clean this pot up and then it will be as good as new. Okay. So let's forget the pot now. I'm just mentioning it because many of you will have the same problem. If you grow indoor trees and keep fertilizing indoors, you get this white encrustation and you've got to clean it off. Clean it with a pot scourer. You know how you clean your cooking utensils? Clean it with that and keep the pot in good condition. Otherwise it looks horrible. And look at it, limescale is creeping up the trunk of the tree as well. Let me bring a brass brush and see if I can get any of that off. So, to show you how this fertilizer or limescale creeps up the trunk, it really makes it look horrible. Can you imagine a person not having their hair done for 46 years? You will be like a wild man, like a caveman. So this is what happened to this tree. But fortunately, it's not dead. And in fact, if anything, it is very much alive. Look at the condition of the leaves. It's absolutely healthy. And when I show you the inside, look at that. There's hardly any root. And it's absolutely putrid. It smells like sewers. It is just wet clay and mud. And that is all the tree is surviving on. And for some reason they put these decorative pebbles in there. I will save it for her. They must have some sentimental attachment for the owner. But this is the condition of the soil. Have a close look. There is some gravelly material, but the rest of it is just putrid black clayey substance. And that's not going to do the tree any good. So before I deal with the roots, let me deal with the structure of the tree. I know that because the tree is so strong, the roots is not a problem. So let me put this tree in a container that I can handle. That's not big enough. I love using these Japanese training pots because I prop the trees up temporarily in this, and then it can allow me to position it in any way I wish. Okay, so that is the tree. Very healthy, but branches are all in the wrong place, and we need to do a bit of surgery. It's like going to the doctors. When you go to the doctor and you're ill, the doctor will, in this case, we have to do two types of operation. General operation and cosmetic surgery, two types of operation. So the general operation means getting rid of the obviously bad things which don't really enhance the tree at all. So the first thing to do is get rid of these bits here. It's spoiling the line of the tree. We clearly do not need it. We clearly do not need it. It's half dead anyway. So let's clean the trunk up like that. Where I can, I will use the saw. Where I can't, I will use the branch cutter. See, some of it is dead. I love working on projects like this because it's like rejuvenating and giving new life to a tree. If the tree could speak, it would be giving a sigh of relief. Okay, so then the other say, I've cleaned the trunk up now, so it's looking a bit better now from doing that. Now there are some obviously unwanted thick branches, like these thick branches that have grown over the years, and they were branches, but they've cut it off, which really is a good thing. They didn't need it. So let's get rid of this. I think I may get cleaner cut with a lopper. I might even try and put it in some soil and see if it makes a cutting. All right. Now I have a choice of either making the tree slant this way and grow a new leader there, because this is all live. Can you see all these new shoots coming out from there? But it may be a bit too much to expect the tree to do that. So rather than use this as the leader, I'll stick with the original leader because there's nothing there. But this is a nice leader there from a stumpy bit, so I might have to deal with that bit. And you can see how over the years these little lumps are aerial roots which have formed, and they are forming a callus. It's almost like a knuckle that is formed. You see all these aerial roots, they can't come out, so they're just forming that round callus like a nut. I've never seen this before. Maybe it is peculiar to this type of ficus. I'm not familiar with my ficuses, so I don't know what variety it is. I think in India they call this either green island or blue island. There are so many varieties of ficus. Because I don't live in the tropics, I'm not familiar with ficus varieties. So I'm getting rid of those. So there is an obvious leader there which I can exploit and use. And this thick branch, I will probably cut some of it off, not all of it. Cut some of it off and make it look less obtrusive. Fancy doing bonsai with a lopper like that. It's what you're used to using. I love using these tree loppers. It's so much easier than using the branch cutter. Always adapt the tools that you need for bonsai. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to use this tool, you have to use that tool. Whatever does the job and works is the right tool for you. In some of these countries where they can't get access to Japanese or Chinese bonsai tools, they use ordinary gardening implements, and that's perfectly all right. Nothing wrong with that. Lots of crossing branches. So many crossing branches which are dead as well. So this is the cosmetic bit that I'm doing. See, even that little branch, you see it's got new shoots attached to it. So this tree has got a lot of vigor going for it. And I have no doubt whatsoever that it'll pick up very fast once I've worked on it. Now this is a branch coming out this way. I can use it to attach more branches, so I'm not going to get rid of that. So many options. See, that's a very nice line. I could even use that as the front. Look at that, beautiful. Rather than have it dead straight, this is very attractive. So I might well utilize this. And this could be a branch to grow. I wish I could give this to Nigel and he would work something with it because he loves his ficuses. If Nigel's watching, these are all potential cuttings, should anyone want to use those. So you can see how I've found a nice line there. So many choices. Another thick branch, so many thick branches. Many, many thick branches. I don't want to reduce it to a stump because after all, as I always remind you, customers' trees you have to respect. I don't want to just give them a log which they don't recognize as bonsai. I know that given time it will eventually become nice, but I want to give them a tree that looks nice, fairly nice now. So if we use this as the front like that, can we make it that way? Okay, so I know where I'm going. So let's do a bit of wiring. So I'm going to wire this out this time so I can anchor this. I don't want to just grow this tree as a bush. I want to give it some recognizable bonsai type shape. Prune the tips off to make it bud back. So in fact all the tips should be pruned back to make it more bushy. I'm surprised there's no infestation of any scale insect, because ficuses are very prone to scale. See, just like that, it's made it look much better without decimating it too much. I don't want to put too much wire, because once it goes back to the owner, and the owner doesn't know anything about bonsai, don't have any bonsai skills, even removing the wire could be quite a problem for her. So I will just do the minimum amount of wiring so that it can be handled easily by her. It doesn't look bad, huh? I think that's all I will do to it. I've cleaned it up no end, and this is all I've taken out. All these thick branches, these burrs which have got roots, all potential cuttings, if I may say so. And I will now put it in a pot. This, I don't want to use this pot. I'll have to soak this for more than a week just to get all that lime scale off. And then, I don't know what pot this is. It's probably a homemade pot. But I'll use a standard Chinese type pot, and this pot is about the right dimensions for the tree. Slightly planted like that would be okay. I don't want the roots to pop out too much. I'll tie the tree in and I will show you the finished off. Wash all the soil off, but on this occasion, because the soil was so putrid and stinking, that I did wash a lot of the soil off. Look at it, it's just got a little bit of root, and it survived for 46 years. And I know that it will survive because ficus are very resilient, very tough. So I just surround it with a bit of sphagnum moss and some ordinary soil. Okay? So here we are. Quite a change from what it was originally in that terrible pot. I think it's got a crack. And I put it at a slight slant. You can see this massive thick trunk. I've left these stubs because they will produce lots of new shoots and it'll fill out. I didn't want to scalp it back to the structure, but there is enough structure there. So all the ugly lumpy bits have been taken away, and I'm going to keep this at least a month to make sure it generates new shoots during the summer. So here you are, another tree restored, and I will show you a final shot in a month to show how this is getting on.